What it is, it's Yo Girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before it all fades to black. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, I'm coming through today, January the 28th. Girl, January gone, bye-bye. We into February. February, the shortest month. You know that go by like this. And then, the rest of the year gone at that point. And June will be around and I will be 42 years old. So let's make this goal. If you rhyme with your girl, let's get your girl monetized by my birthday. All right, I already hit the 1,000 subscriber threshold that you have to hit. That is very hard to get. Took me forever. Took me, basically, I'm looking at my channel. My channel is almost 10 years old, guys. That's a long time to be trying. I watched this girl, Pretty Girl Boss, and she just had this message that your stubbornness is about to pay off. And baby, that's me. I am going to try everything that I want to do, that I desire to do. And when that ish don't work, I'm going to figure something out and I'm going to keep it going for some reason. That's how I am. I don't know how to give up. I will be down on the ground, out for the count. And then I'll lift one finger up and I'll be, but wait, let me try this first before I give up. So, girl, I'm very stubborn. If I can find that video, I will link that in the description box. I love Pretty Girl Boss. I am about to do her as my next Project Reach the World YouTube edition. If y'all don't know what Project Reach the World is, this is something that I didn't create it, but the creator decided to bring it through me. Because to be honest, I never knew what I was doing. I didn't understand how I was even doing it, but it was just something I was doing and pieces were coming together. And I remember one day I was jogging the track and the name came to me, Project Reach the World. So God formulated it and he brought it forth through me. But what it is, I will link a video telling everything, showing all my different types of artwork, a lot of pieces I've done, because I can't show you all. When I was trying to do that video was getting longer and longer and longer. Girl, I can't show it all. I can't tell it all, but it shows a lot of my artwork. And what I would do was get my artwork to relevant people, trying to break the story of my husband's wrongful conviction through my art, because that's the only thing that everybody ever cared about dealing with Yo Girl Cadillac. So now I'm doing it post the shutdown of 2020. I started doing it on YouTube. So now this is the YouTube edition. I'm doing my YouTubers that I look up to, that I actually gain inspiration from and everything. So my current one is Rejiva the Ruler. I keep wanting to call her Rejiva the Diva. And if I slip up and say that, I'm so sorry, girl. I don't know why that is like etched in my brain. Rejiva the Ruler. Yes, I was just walking because it is a beautiful day out here. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Look. It's like overcast, but it's like not windy. It's kind of cool, breezy, and that's not Florida weather. Florida weather is usually hot and unbearable, girl. So I was enjoying this nice weather out here, taking a walk. Y'all see earlier, if you watched the video from earlier when I was working on Rejiva's Project Reach the World drawing, I was sitting out to the park. So I got my park in, I got my walk in, and girl, now it's countdown to work. Because I work to live and I live to work. About to put my checkered skin on in 30 minutes and head to work. Anyways, I did close. My theme park is actually picking up. I think the last 2 weeks when I had some days off, extra days off, that was probably it. From here on out, it just gets busy. We had a Christian band. It's a Christian event where Christian bands come in, and then also it's kind of the theme park put together. We got Mardi Gras coming up like next week. Then we have the grad things, the grad celebrations where graduating classes come through. First we have the middle schools, then we have the high schools, then you have the summer nights and their concerts, and then you go from summer into August, where it's kind of a little slow for a moment because the kids are coming back. They're not out of school anymore, so it dies down a little bit. We have tour groups, girl. It be busy, busy, busy. They be working you to life. I ain't gonna say to death, but to life. And then you go into the Halloween time when they have there's horror night events, and it's crazy, like year round. So this is basically my last break. So it was crazy. When I clocked in to work, we were busy until I clocked out from work. Then I actually had to stay late, girl. What? I didn't get off till 1 a.m. Got home, it was like 1 something, almost 2. And girl, I was going to bed. I was literally going to bed because I had a headache because I had only got like 4 hours of sleep the day before. So I stayed up to do Money's hair, to twist Money locks. So I had this headache I couldn't get rid of. I took all the Excedrin I could till I got to my limit. I think you can only take 6 Excedrin a day. I literally got to them 6 and still couldn't get rid of my headache. I know it's because of lack of sleep, but you know, is what it is, like for real. So I got up this morning around 10-ish, 10:30-ish to 11, drugged myself out the bed, and then I went to the park, set up Drew. Of course, before all that, I'm caregiver to my sister, so I have to help her get ready. I get ready. Then I went out to the park to draw and all of that stuff. So now this is my last video before having to go back to work, because I work to live and I live to work. I hustle hard until it hurts, girl. It hurt. My hands hurt. I work my fingers down to the bone. And once I pay my bills, it ain't nothing to come home with. Girl, for real. But I was watching a couple of other videos from Regivo as I was walking, and there was this one that she was talking about relationship between a correction officer and an inmate. Now, for us, me that's in my advocating group, inmate is a bad word. Like, bleep that out. We don't call them inmates. We call them incarcerated citizens. The word inmate is made to demean, to dehumanize, and to set them below regular humans. Like, I'm a human and you're beneath me. You're an inmate. That's what that term basically gives. And I know a lot of people, I understand a lot of people don't care about inmates because they shouldn't have done what they done. They don't do the crime if you can't do the time. But our system is effed all the way up. And if I could say 100% legitimately that everybody that's in prison should be there and they should be being punished the way they're being punished, then I could say those same things. But I know that there's plenty of people in prison that should not be in prison. You have the wrongfully convicted. You have the over sentenced. You have some that did smaller crimes but doing more time because they skin just brown like mine. You got all kinds of situations. So it's not, the justice system is in no way just. So I never pass judgment on a full group of people. Yes, you do have those scum of the earths in prison that probably should be there, but you also got innocent people, and you got people that were set up. You got people that were, and then you got some that should be there that's out because they the ones that cop deals and stuff to cut themselves slack. They really should be behind the bars, but they out here free with everybody. But you don't look down on them, but you look down on the one that got ratted on. See, until you factor in all that and make it all right, then we can say inmate. Okay, so we call them incarcerated citizens and are advocating for prison reform because it's messed up. DOC is messed all the way up from front to back, up to down. It's messed up. It needs to be completely restructured. The justice system as well. Justice system doesn't have a lick of justice in it. So that needs to be rebuilt and redone. Now they are fighting tooth and nail because they want things to continue in the way that it does. But I don't know how long it can just stay like this. There's too many people waking up to the fact of what prison really is. Did y'all just watch the one, I referred y'all to watch Regiva the Ruler's video about the incarcerated citizen who went in and they jumped on her and broke her neck. Girl, paralyzed now. Like, that's not even in their hands to be doing that. They are not God. Like, anyways, I was watching one of her videos saying the relations between the guards and the incarcerated citizens. I almost said that bad word. And it made me think about, girl, Florida, number one, do not have conjugal visits. There are other states. I believe New York does. I had another prison wife friend who she was in Florida. She used to cop a plane ticket, fly out there. Then she had to drive all the way upstate to see her mans, but they had trailers and such. She used to be able to bring food, groceries, and they would live like a family and be able to do whatever families do. Florida doesn't have any family programs or anything. Y'all know how much I love kids. Y'all know I didn't just want one child. But being with my husband, who's wrongfully convicted and excessively sentenced, I basically had to give up that dream of having more children. Now, to tell you the truth, I never thought I would have to fight for my husband's freedom over 10 years. I thought I would still be in good childbearing age once he comes home. But now, unless it's the grace of God, I just got to be happy with my daughter, Money, and my granddaughter, right? But you never know, because let me tell you, strong prison wife, look her up. Ro Clausen, beautiful, beautiful lady. 42, I believe. She had her first child. Her husband was freed from a 312-year prison sentence, and they had a baby. I haven't been keeping up with them, so maybe they had baby number two too by now. But girl, so it is possible. So if he gets out like the day after tomorrow, but other than that, But I wanted to have more kids. And the truth is, with a prison sentence like this, that's on hold. You're not doing none of that stuff because Florida DLC does not allow it. But let me tell you, I'm the OG prison wife. Prison wife for 20 plus years. So this girl, I done seen some things. Even though I'm legally blind, I done seen some things, girl. I done seen some things. And I remember Marcello being at this one camp. Now, most of the camps in the North, I'm going to tell you, there's a difference in the North and the South in Florida. Florida is not just Florida. Everybody know that. Florida ain't just Florida. Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Orlando, Miami. Okay, that's the mixed pot area. That's where you can find a lot of black people. You can find a lot of, city type things and stuff like that. But outside, in a lot of that panhandle and a lot of those backcountry woods area where people got that southern drawl, like where we just came from, it is not the case. They are usually run the prisons like it is like it's the military, basically. Like it's on your feet, and that's how they they walk around. Like, honestly, that's how it is. So you ain't getting nothing, and you ain't even finna get an extra little kiss. You get one kiss and one hug at the beginning of visitation, and after, baby, they be like, "Ooh, who finna get a second kiss? You think you finna get a second? You ain't getting nothing." And that kiss done been long enough. But there was this one camp where he was close. And it was lacked. And it was so weird. This was not way off in the country woods. It was literally like in a regular city. And it was crazy how a lot of the guards that worked there kind of grew up with some of the people that were incarcerated there and stuff. So it was like so laid back. This is the first, I promise you, this is the first prison where I seen a whole bunch of black people working. I promise, I ain't never seen that many black guards. When we go off into them country woods, you probably see one black guard, possibly, but it's not guaranteed. Okay, this one had plenty of, it was black guards everywhere. Then you had a lot of Spanish guards, and then you also had a lot of Caucasian guards, which was so crazy. They would be in 2 shifts, right? So the visitation on, he was close enough to visit every single week. The visitation on 1 week would be all white officers. Ain't that crazy? And I promise you, the next visitation will be all black and Spanish officers. I can't make this up. I am not lying. So it would be shift A, shift B. So if you knew on one shift, this is finna be like you done enrolled, you done enlisted or something. And the next shift gonna be just laid back like you on the street or whatever. So I remember being at this visitation. They used to do the entire most. They did not want us to visit. They were trying to detour visitors. They don't really want you to continue a relationship once your loved one is incarcerated, right? And the whole purpose is to break the family apart so that, you know, now you can do whatever you want with this person because there's nobody opposing you. See, the family is the one that steps in, that stands up for them, that makes calls for them, that says, hey, you ain't finna treat my loved one like that. You know, they don't like a lot of family being involved so that they can do whatever they feel like doing. You know what I'm saying? So there were so many visitors. We used to have to park on the side of the road. It got to the point where people were coming at 3 and 4 a.m. Now, visitation didn't start till 9 a.m. Just camping out all along the road. Now, you could not get on their property to a certain time of day. So they would be a long line on the highway, right? And it just got so ridiculous. And it's like the more people that started to visit, the slower the guards would move. They would be like sloths from Zootopia. And they did it on purpose. You knew they did it on purpose because there were some guards that weren't petty that didn't do that. And they can move in a reasonable amount of time. Now, you'll see the next guard just be petty as heck and they'll just be moving and moving. And then it could be you literally could have got there at 7 in the morning. Count is at 11. You never want to be caught in count because you may or may not see your loved one. It's times you've been there from the morning and would not get to see your loved one until 1 o'clock and your visit's almost over, right? And they still going to put you out on time. They ain't going to let you in on time, but they're going to put your out on time for real. So I remember we were in the canteen and then we'll pick our different tables and stuff where we want to sit and all of that. So this was the first visitation that was not like you're being just watched like 24/7, right? So I was sitting down and I seen it was an incarcerated citizen and a girl, he was holding her hand and literally the door opened. It looked like a closet to me and they went in the closet. I'm like, okay, but you know in prison, you better mind your business. It ain't got nothing to do with you, girl. Mind your business. You have visitation, mind your business. You incarcerated, that mind your business, girl. It ain't got nothing to do with you. So it surprised me. I'm like, okay. And then it came out and he was like tugging on his pants and whatever. So I'm like, did that just happen? I'm not used to this. This is when I first moved to that camp. Girl, this camp was crazy. They would be on this, I'm telling you, they would be on the sides of the soda machines. They would be, girl, it was even down to the point where some of the guards were unlocking the bathrooms and allowing the incarcerated citizen and the female to go in the bathroom. And it's like, because they had this whole like alliance type thing. And I'm like, is this really happening? Like, okay, so in a visitation, you have the inside, and then they would open the patio area. Now, this particular place was kind of different. When you went outside the door, you didn't go specifically, you like most camps, you're directly on the patio as soon as you go down, out the door. But this one had like a little smaller patio, and then you go down a ramp, and then it's a big sit down patio. Girl, people will be behind that door. Like when you walk out that door, don't even look to the left, because you don't know what's going on behind that door. All you know, the door ain't opening all the way. They would be behind the door. They would, oh my gosh, it was so much going on. And the thing was, it was girls going into visitation and coming out pregnant. Like, oh my goodness, it was crazy. But that's how it, I mean, me, I could never, I mean, I wanted my husband. I still want my husband. You know what I'm saying? And now the last time me and my husband ever been together was over 20 years ago. And that's so crazy too. That story. Because I specifically remember Marcello. He was like, you ain't going to give me none. I'm going to prison. I could be going to prison tomorrow. And I was like, no, I ain't going to give you nothing. You better figure it out. I should have gave him some, girl. But can you imagine, like a person like me, I really want to be with my husband. And we wanted to continue our family, but we literally can't because of this wrongful conviction. But I could never bring myself to do the things that they were doing, going in closets, going behind this place, that place. And I just couldn't, because number one, is basically like you're out in the open. And then number two, a lot of time those were girls that the guys were meeting on these different, I don't even know how they have it, but they be having dating stuff and pen pal stuff. So they had the girls fill out the application to come to visitation, and they just get it on. It's even been to the point where I've seen an incarcerated citizen have one girl this visitation and another girl the next visitation coming. Like, it's crazy. I don't think prison stops anything at all except for us. It'll stop us. But I couldn't see myself doing that. And then two, me and Marcello have too much to lose. We have way too much to lose, because if you are caught, you lose your visitations, which that is something that we never could take any chances in doing, losing our visitations, because that is the only way that we were able to keep our family together. We raised our daughter together through prison visitations and expensive phone calls. And visitation ain't close. Visitation is expensive. All that money to travel up that road. You have to get hotels, rent-a-cars. I was under 21, so I had to pay extra on the rent-a-car. Like, girl, it's not easy. So for a short timer or someone who this is a fly-by-night chick, I'm sure you don't care about taking the risk. But for someone like us, that he's pretty much there until Jesus comes back, we're not finna run that risk. And that's so crazy how, and I say, out of all the people that did some of every and anything, and me and Marcello never participated in it because we knew how detrimental our visits were. How did I lose my visits out of everybody? But I guess the thing is, for me to be able to be maybe an inspiration to somebody else who may be going through this and down this road, because I'm telling you, if you're going down this road, you're going to feel alone. But I'm here so that you don't have to feel alone, right? But I couldn't relate to you if I never been through it. So, baby, I've been through losing my visit. But it's crazy. It's so crazy. It was like 3 girls that I literally seen that came in and went out pregnant. Now, girl, that's crazy. Now, you can't really judge them because you don't know what their situation is. I mean, this could be their husband. You can't even be with your own husband. Like, this is so crazy. Like, you may desire to complete your family, to continue your family, but then also you are bringing another child into the world without a father. Well, without a free father, because the father is there, but the father can only be in the child's life limitedly. It's a lot. It's a lot more than just surface level. I do desire for Florida to have programs like other cities and states, like my California prison wives. They're able to have conjugal visits, and that is really, if you want to, like Florida wants to incarcerate you from birth to death, and if you really want to incarcerate people at that rate and for that long like that, you need to still have things that the family can continue on, you know, because you are interrupting families. You are stopping. Money always wanted a sister or brother. Now that's, unless he get out like the day after tomorrow, right, girl? She might have two of them. We might have time for two. But I mean, for real, like, we need more family programs. We need reform. And it needs to come like now. It's way past overdue. There's too many that's in prison that can serve their time that should be released. You should have rehabilitated them, but you ain't want to. You ain't want to. But now you need to just release them. All right, guys. About to go put my little checkered skin on and get to work. All right. It's your girl Cadillac.